we don't really see an awful lot of companies from South Africa. It just is a country that doesn't seem to be coming out with an awful lot of games, but when they do, heaven they do well. Because I have Mr. Rob here, you on Pleasant Company Games, Ancient Terrible Things. Who wouldn't want to get a game with that name? Tell me a little bit about the game. Where did the whole thing come from?
The game was inspired by my travels. Many years ago, I went through Southeast Asia and areas like Cambodia, Laos, and exploring those areas and the river areas and the old temples of those areas. I'm an illustrator and an artist. And it was inspired by a lot of the sketches that came out of that area, and sort of combined with my own love of pulp and Raiders of the Lost Ark, Lovecraft, old movies, and my love of board games. And this came to a point of, I'd love to combine all of these elements into a board game.
What was the process like? I mean, I have no idea what the board game scene is like in South Africa. Was it a very challenging process to go from the concept of the game to actually having a finished product?
Absolutely, it's a long. I think this game has actually taken about 5 or 6 years to complete from the first sketches that were done. The first few years was trying to develop a mechanic, and after a year or two, I realized mechanics is not my strength. And sort of looked around for a partner to help me with the game design, so we could actually make a good game. I met Simon McGregor, and we've been working for a couple of years together on a couple of different versions of this game. There have been different game designs, and we finally found a mechanic that we really enjoyed, and we've developed that, and here we are today.
How does it play? What's that mechanic that you enjoyed so much?
Well, the mechanic that Simon designed was it's a Yahtzee. It's more of a poker dice variant, where you would be rolling your dice and using your dice combinations to win various resources that you need in the game. It's quite a simple game. There are 4 basic resources that you need, or you'll be using your resources, or you'll be using your dice to overcome an encounter in the game. So a very simple game where you're either using your dice to win VP, or to use resources that give you more options for harder later cards in the game. So this is the basic mechanic.
Is it a very accessible game, or is it a thinky gamer's game?
No, I think it's a very light game. It can be played by 8-year-old plus. I've played it with my nephews and nieces, and they love the game. So it's almost, a lot of people call it an advanced King of Tokyo.
That's pretty good. Now you have almost sold out already. I can tell, because you had lots of games, and I think you have about 10 or 15 copies left, something like that. Very few.
A few on the shelf. So it's been a very successful show.
Now, for those of us who want to buy the game after lesson, how do we go about it? Is this available through distribution somewhere?
We have a distributor in the US called Game Salute, who handle our the US market, and they do push games into the European market through the UK. The game is almost sold out in the US as well. We did a very small run for the first game. I mean, I'm a small publisher, so we did a very small run. This has done very well and has sold out. I think these are our last games. So we're hoping to reprint in the new year, and hopefully there'll be interest in continental Europe to get the game here.
What's next? Are you going to continue developing this game, or are you going to do more games? What's going to happen to Pleasant Company Games?
Well, I'm definitely going to take a break after the show and have a day off. But we are developing an expansion for the game, which we're kickstarting in February. And this will add a new set of cards, some extra dice, some new variants to the game. And we're also working on 2 other small, different games, very different genres, which will be coming out in the next sort of 12 months. But all of these details are obviously on our website, that people can find out.
Well, very much looking forward to see what the expansions look like, because so far, Ancient Terrible Things look absolutely fantastic. So congratulations on the success, and yeah, please keep them coming.
Please, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you like what you see.